Hello everyone, this is Tony with Old School Manufacturing, home of the Weed Zapper. Want to share a short video with you today that will instruct you as to how to connect your high voltage transfer cable that carries electricity from the generator cart up to the boom. On the left side of your screen here, you will notice my mouse pointer here. We have your high voltage transfer cable. This is the way it's shipped to you, just wound up in a coil with zip ties on it. And you have the two ends shown here in the middle. One of the cable ends has no terminal on it. One does have a terminal with a piece of shrink tubing on it there. The one with the terminal, the one on the left there, goes to the front of your tractor, to the boom, and it will connect to the high voltage discharge electrode up there on the front. This end without a terminal will go back to the cart back here and connect to the discharge post on top of the transformer. So those are the two ends and where they go. The conduit is 28 feet in length, the gray conduit that you see here, and it has male adapters with a compression fitting on the conduit end and then a threaded 3/4 inch fitting on the other end of that fitting. And this is what you use to connect to the boom at the front of the tractor as well as the cart at the rear of the tractor. And I'm going to point out next here the connection points that are available. First, on your cart, you have a connection point up high here, close to the top of the cart. That is a 1-inch diameter hole, which will accept these male adapters on the end of your conduit. So you can fasten the conduit up high, you can bring it in down low, or the third option would be that you can actually bring it in underneath of this arch at the bottom of the 3-point connection area down here. Bring it in under the arch, take it on the driver's side of the cart, which is the side that houses the generator, take it up between the generator and the firewall, and take it up, and then on the inside of this firewall, we're looking inside of the cart from the transformer side now, you also see you have access holes here for your conduit to terminate. So you can terminate it there as a third option if you would like. Really the length of your run is what determines where you need to locate that. Once you have this terminated, you have it located on the point here on the cart that you desire. You want to be sure to take a pair of channel locks, run the lock ring down good and tight, and then tighten that fitting using the channel lock pliers so that you have a good connection point there, because the steel lining inside this gray conduit serves also as an additional ground between your cart and your boom. So make sure you tighten that down good and snug. And once you get that lock ring tight, finger tight, or have someone hold it with a pair of channel lock pliers on the inside, it will be no problem to tighten that down and get it good and snug. Now, for illustration purposes, I have chosen to use that upper hole above the folded up tongue that we looked at on the outside of the cart. Normally, when you have that conduit connected and the wire coming out of it, there would be a piece of red insulation also inside your cable. I didn't have one on this cable here for illustration purposes, but that's where I've terminated my conduit. As you can see, it's good and tight there. Once we get my cable inside the cart here, I want to strip off about 1 inch of the black insulation or gray insulation of that cable so we have bare cable showing. There is on your discharge post on top of the transformer, there is an eye bolt that has a hole, in other words, an eye on one of the bolt and a nut on the other. That's a 9/16 nut. In other words, a 3/8 nut with a 9/16 wrench will loosen that. And so you need to loosen that up. That gives you access to the eye opening on the end of the bolt. You insert your wire down through that opening, as we can see in the next picture here. You want to make sure that you've got enough insulation stripped off so that the insulation doesn't get between the eye and the block behind it, and of course insulating the wire from making contact with that post. Just make sure that it's stripped off enough there. Put it back in other words, shove that in, tighten it down by hand, and then take a 9/16 wrench and finish tightening that eye bolt back up so you have good contact on that high voltage transfer cable.